December 2014, Malala wins the Nobel Peace Prize. She invites girls from Syria, Nigeria, and Pakistan to the award ceremony in Oslo as she becomes the youngest ever Nobel laureate. Malala is born on July 12, 1997. Her parents name her after Malala Pashto, a national hero of Afghanistan, who rallied local fighters against the British troops at the 1880 Battle of Maiwand.
I was named after the inspirational Malala of Maiwand, who is the Pashtun Joan of Arc. The word Malala means grief-stricken, sad. But in order to lend some happiness to it, my grandfather would always call me Malala, the happiest girl in the world. And today, I'm very happy that we are together fighting for an important cause.
Growing up in the Swat Valley, often called the Switzerland of Asia, Malala shares her father's love of learning. She spends her childhood playing outside and exploring new worlds in books. In 2007, Taliban militants take control of Swat. They ban many things like owning a television and playing music. They enforce harsh punishments, including public executions, for citizens who defy their orders. In December of 2008, the Taliban issues an edict banning girls from going to school. Using the pen name Gul Mackay to protect her identity, Malala begins blogging for the BBC about life under the Taliban. She describes how she feels in the final days before her school is set to close. The Pakistani army moves into the Swat Valley to force the Taliban out and fighting ensues. More than 1 million residents of Swat, including the Yusufaza family, flee their homes to other parts of the country. The Pakistani army weakens the Taliban stronghold in the Swat Valley, forcing them to retreat. Malala's father's school is able to reopen, and Malala is excited to return to the classroom. Although she fears retaliation for speaking out against the Taliban, she publicly campaigns for girls to go to school and wins Pakistan's first National Youth Peace Prize.
This is an occasion of happiness and pride for me, my friends, my teachers and parents. I'm the first Pakistani girl, first Pashtun girl, who has been nominated for the award.
When the Taliban was ruling Swat, they forbade girls going to school. That was the time when Malala started writing her diary for BBC Urdu service.
Last night I had a scary dream in which I saw soldiers, helicopters and Taliban. I'm having such kind of dreams ever since the army operation started in Swat. Mother prepared breakfast for us and then I left for school. I was very much scared because the Taliban announced yesterday that girls should stop going to schools. Today our head teacher told the school assembly that school uniform is no longer compulsory and from tomorrow onwards girls should come in their normal dresses. Out of 27, only 11 girls attended the school today.
Malala says that media played an important role in her nomination for the award.
My school, Khushhal School and College, and media supported me a lot. If there were no BBC, no New York Times and no channels, then my voice would not have reached the people.
Arif Shamim, BBC News.
Due to her increased prominence, both in Pakistan and around the world, The Taliban target Malala. A masked gunman boards Malala's school bus and asks for her by name. He shoots Malala in the head, neck, and shoulder. Malala survives but remains in critical condition as she is transported to the United Kingdom for treatment. People in Pakistan and around the world pray for her recovery.
It is an honor for me to be speaking again after a long time. Being here with such honorable people is a great moment in my life. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed. Dear sisters and brothers, I'm here to speak up for the right of education of every child. I want education for the sons and daughters of the Taliban and all the terrorists and extremists. I do not even hate the Talib who shot me. Even if there is a gun in my hand and he stands in front of me, I would not shoot him. This is the compassion that I have learned from Muhammad, the Prophet of Mercy, and Jesus Christ and Lord Buddha. This is the legacy of change that I have inherited from Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. This is the philosophy of non-violence that I have learned from Gandhiji, Bacha Khan, and Mother Teresa. And this is the forgiveness that I have learned from my father and from my mother. And dear brothers and sisters, we want schools and education for every child's bright future. We believe in the power and the strength of our words. Our words can change the whole world because we are all together, united for the cause of education. And if we want to achieve our goal, then let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge. And let us shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. Dear brothers and sisters, we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, injustice, and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are out of their schools. We must not forget that our sisters and brothers are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty, and terrorism. Let us pick up our books and our pens. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
In response to mass kidnappings by the terrorist group Boko Haram, Malala meets with the families of the victims. Malala travels to Nigeria on her 17th birthday to add her voice to the outcry demanding for their safe return.
Dear sisters and brothers, the so-called world of adults may understand it, but we children don't. Why is it that countries which we call strong are so powerful in creating wars, but are so weak in bringing peace? Why is it that giving guns is so easy, but giving books is so hard? Why is it? Why is it that making tanks is so easy, but building schools is so hard? Let us become the first generation that decides to be the last, that sees empty classrooms, lost childhoods, and wasted potentials. Let this be the last time that a girl or a boy spends their childhood in a factory. Let this be the last time that a girl is forced into early child marriage. Let this be the last time that a child loses life in war. Let this be the last time that we see a child out of school. Let this end with us. Let's begin this ending together, today, right here, right now.